so low, so low. Didn't know which way I should go. I was lonely, I was out of friends. Dead ends, dead ends. Couldn't bring myself to pretend, but in my darkest night, a breakthrough. Heard you call my name, and now I'm facing you. Something falls from the sky, suddenly I'm awake. I'm alive, I'm aware, there's a chance I gotta take. Something falls from the sky as it cuts through the night. Power lifts me higher, gonna be dancing in the light. Person I could be, without the chains surrounding me. Now you've shown me what lies behind the door. See me crying out for more, 'cause in my darkest night, a breakthrough. Heard you call my name, and now I'm facing you. Something falls from the sky, suddenly I'm awake. I'm alive, I'm aware, there's a chance I gotta take. Something falls from the sky as it cuts through the night. Power lifts me higher, gonna be dancing in the light. Dancing in the light. Dancing in the light. Dancing in the light. They don't believe, they say I'm out my mind. 'Cause I got something they're all out to find. I was down on everything, was wrong, so wrong. Turn to see your face, and now I am reborn. Something falls from the sky, suddenly I'm awake. I'm alive, I'm aware, there's a chance I gotta take. Something falls from the sky as it cuts through the night. Power lifts me higher, gonna be dancing in the light. Something falls from the sky, suddenly I'm awake. I'm alive, I'm aware, there's a chance I gotta take. Something falls from the sky as it cuts through the night. Power lifts me higher, gonna be dancing in the light. Dancing in the light. Dancing in the light. Dancing in the light. Dancing in the light.
A very good afternoon to you. We're back once again, live from Camtasia Studios in Renfrewshire. This is the Smartphone Video Show. I'm Colin Kelly, alongside Emma Baker. How you doing, Emma?
I'm good, thanks very much, Colin. Looking forward to today's show.
Yeah, always good to get together with this on a Friday lunchtime and broadcast to the world. The one cloud on my horizon is, I don't know if you've noticed this, have you noticed more and more people referring to Friday as Fry-yay?
No, that must just be people you
Just my
associate with on
friends.
your newsfeed or whatever. I've never seen. Well,
It really annoys me.
Yeah.
It really annoys me. I start off a Friday in quite a good mood, and then by the time I get to lunchtime, and I've seen more and more people saying Fry-yay on Twitter and Instagram, it gets to me.
That's terrible. What a grumpy old man. That's just people celebrating. They've made it through the week. They've worked hard, and now it's time to switch off.
Yeah, okay,
Don't see a
I
problem.
need to get over it. All right, we're here today to talk about all things smartphone video, and we're going to be talking about how do you make a video for your business if you don't want to be in it. And we've had clients where we've been making videos for them, and they say, look, can you make the video, but I don't want to be in it. And I always think that's a shame, because it means that they miss out maybe on that human side of it. It means it's maybe harder to get that connection, but sometimes there's a very good reason why they can't be in the video or don't want to be in the video. And there's lots that we can do to get round that. It's actually becoming easier. So Emma's going to take us through that in a little while. But last week, of course, we were talking about hyper short videos. We talked about Instagram Reels and TikTok. And if you want to know more about that or catch up on the programme, it's all there at comsteria.co.uk/live on our website, or just check out the Comsteria YouTube channel. And Emma, I saw during the week that TikTok I don't know if this was as a result of our session last Friday. I doubt it, but you never know. They're launching a recruitment channel, and TikTok are going to be, it's experimental at the moment, but the suggestion seems to be that the young, job seekers of the future, the first stage, at least in the application process, rather than a CV, they might be submitting a TikTok video. I wonder what you think of that.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting, especially after what we've been speaking about. But certainly, TikTok seems to be everywhere. Instagram Reels, these kind of very short videos. It's what everyone's consuming. And as you were saying, it's what young people, it's how they're choosing to communicate and interact in the world. So why not use it for recruitment? It's an easy way for an organisation, if you get good at video and these short videos, to show off what a fantastic place it is to work, by using content that your staff create. And it's also a great way for people to show you very, very quickly what they're made of, the kind of personality and energy that they can bring to a job, much more lively than a CV.
Yeah, and I think that's something that young people are really aware of. A lot of our work cuts across this sort of intersection between the established brand, the established business, and the youth, the next generation. And it's really interesting being part of that discussion. And I think young people today, I think they're really savvy, and they know that a CV is not a good place to get themselves across. And so I think a lot of them would feel better expressing themselves in a video. The challenge is, can you do it in 15 seconds or 30 seconds?
It's the same. I used to be an English teacher, so a lot of my life has been spent helping young people how to communicate better. And you used to do things like that, talk about how you would write a CV or how to sell yourself. But there's the same kind of skills involved in selling yourself in a video. You have to think about your message and your audience and what's important, prioritise the information that you really need to get out there, and make sure that that's the only thing that you include, and almost kind of even more so in a video, because people can't scan through a video to see if it's relevant or not. You need to make sure it's relevant right from the off. Yeah,
and of course, better for the recruiter as well. I mean, we've been in with HR professionals and we've worked with recruitment agencies as well over the years, and I know how challenging it is going through the pile of CVs. And I think after COVID, there will be vacancies to fill, but there's going to be a lot of people hoping to fill them. So I guess anything that makes it fairer or easier to express yourself or easier to manage is worth a look. And certainly it's something that TikTok are big on. Their hashtag career advice is one of the most visited areas of TikTok. So I think it makes sense for them to dip their toe in with this, and we'll see where it goes. And if you're interested in staying up to date with all that's going on in the world of social media, then every day there's a podcast called The Digital Minute, and you can catch up with that at the Comsteria podcast, or also visit the colinkelly.net website, and you'll get jargon-free 60-second clips every single day telling you everything that's going on, the big news of the day in social media and digital. Right, Emma, to business then, and videos without showing your face. I know that you've made a few for clients, so perhaps you could explain how you approach it, and when a client says, look, this is what we do, but I can't talk in this video, what's the approach that you take?
Yeah, well, I would first of all reiterate what you just said at the start, that I think if you don't want to be in a video, you are kind of missing out a little bit of a chance to connect with your audience, especially in light of what we've just said about recruitment. But sometimes there's a time and a place, and particularly at the moment, people have wanted to know how to do that because everyone's working remotely. So the most common suggestion I would make, if I'm producing a video for someone as well, we can use stock footage for you. Will I show the video that we made? I'll just press play on that now, and you can maybe bring it up on the screen. This was a client who didn't want to appear, and I sourced stock footage for them.
This is a guy so the business is an import-export business of fresh fruit and veg and fish, and it's a global business, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so when we talk about stock footage, I think a lot of people don't understand what's available. I mean, look at that. That's a cracking image, that, isn't it? With the traffic going past and the lights there. Now, we're looking at one just now, Emma, of it's like a composite. There's 4 images. Somebody holding fruit up, somebody else with a kid.
Go back to that.
That bit just there. So do you buy that as one clip, or do you buy 4 separate clips of video, and did you stick them together?
Yeah, so the latter, four separate clips. And then you put them together in the editor. And I edited this on the desktop, but I used a lot of kind of smartphone video sources for my, to make sure I was getting, not having to pay over the odds for a lot of stock footage. There really is just so much stock footage available now. And so that was 4 separate images downloaded and just put into a composite on the desktop editor. You could do the same if you were editing on a smartphone as well. So you're not limited to just one single piece of stock, maybe with text over the top. You can play around with it and be creative and do different things with the stock
Now,
footage.
what would you have done in that situation if the client has said to you, look, okay, we're a global business, so we'd like some stock footage that suggests, global and the fast-moving nature of the goods that we're transporting. But what would you have done if they'd said, look, and we've also shot some stuff ourselves of, some of our packaging going out, or our fruit and veg, or our office. So can you use like professional stock footage and homemade stock footage in the same clip, or does that present you with a problem?
That can be a problem because for a start, just the basic technical side of it, that the frame rates don't necessarily match, and you can't really. There are ways around it potentially if the footage you've got is good enough, but if you're matching 4K drone footage, time lapse or something like that from a professional with something that you filmed on your smartphone and you've not had any kind of training and you filmed it at 30 frames per second, then it's just not going to look good. You're probably best, it's that consistency thing in a video in terms of the look you've got. You're best sticking with the same all the way through, but there's no reason why you can't make a whole video out of your kind of archive footage that you've shot yourself. But I'd say by and large it's easier to just work with the one type of footage.
So it sounds like there's a bit of an art to it, and I guess you're having that dialogue or exchange of emails or whatever with the client first in terms of what they need this to do, what story they want the stock footage to tell, and then you start looking around for it. And I mean, the only stock footage library I was really familiar with was Shutterstock, but you're saying it's kind of grown in the last few years. And there are some places where you can get free stock video footage. Yeah.
So for this video, it wasn't to be massively expensive. So we already have subscriptions to Canva because I use Canva all the time. You get lots of great stock footage on Canva, and then also because I use the app LumaFusion, which is an editor for your phone and for the iPad. I then also can pay for a £10 a month Storyblock subscription. And Storyblock, you can pay a more expensive subscription to get access to their full library. But this £10 a month one gives you access on your phone within the LumaFusion app to really, as you could see from the clip there, some really professional footage that you could use. So that was the 2 sources that I used. And as you say, the client gave us... Well, you scripted it, didn't you? So we should mention that's got your voiceover on top of that, music underneath. And so I had your script to work with, and then the keywords about what they wanted to convey about their business, and just set about searching for footage from these different sources. You write in the keywords, serving fish, shops, trade, ships, all the rest of it, fast moving, modern, time lapse.
And what kind of prices are we talking? Like if you take a 30-second time lapse clip of, some of it there, it was like satellite imagery of the world, or it's like traffic racing through a city centre. What's sort of ballpark price for some of that?
Well, this one, as I say, was from LumaFusion Storyblocks. That time lapse was from Storyblocks, and I pay £10 a month, so I just download it for free as part of my subscription. For more slightly maybe bigger libraries like Adobe Stock or Shutterstock, which you can access on the web, you're probably looking at more, if you want to pay a monthly subscription, it's more in the £30 kind of mark for the subscriptions, but you've got a broader access.
So certainly better value for money if you go down the subscription route rather than just paying for one-off clips.
It's, you're talking £40-50 per clip if you do it per clip. Although, again, there are some completely free sources like Pixabay and Pexels.com where you'll get free stock photography and also an increasingly growing library of free stock video, which I've used for videos in the past.
And one thing that I know that really helped us with that project was I think actually the script from the voiceover came from the client. So you worked to that script. We tidied it up a little bit. We worked to that script. You got all the footage, and then I recorded the voiceover. So if you're in a comms team or you're running a business, here's another element of that toolkit that we talk about here every week. It's not that it's better or worse. It's just it enables you to get more video footage out there, do more of this regularly, turning that content round. So a subscription for a stock video site, and then you can be making more videos and making them quickly as well. Sometimes you hire the professional, you get them to come into the premises and film. Sometimes you film themselves, and sometimes you might outsource to someone like Emma, who's going to stick that together for you using stock footage. And what was really exciting was, I think, how quickly we turned that round, Emma. It was a matter of it was less than 2 days, I think, wasn't it?
From being able to get the script, you did the voiceover, and then I was able to edit it. And that was the way I would work. If you're planning to do it yourself, that's the kind of workflow for you. Don't start with the stock footage and think, oh, what pretty pictures can we get? Start with your message, because you've got a specific purpose you want to achieve. You've got your target audience, what's going to interest them, and script it that way, and then it makes it very easy for whoever's pulling the video together to find the stock footage that's relevant.
Great. Remember, if you've got any comments or questions about what we're talking about today on the Smartphone Video Show, just pop them into the live chat just now, or if you're watching on demand, you can email us through the comsteria.co.uk website, or just message us through YouTube or wherever you're watching. So also, Emma, I know that you wanted to talk about, I think it's point of view videos as well. What can we do with them?
So a point of view that's just the kind of catch-all term, I guess. If you don't want to appear in the video, just creating some kind of footage where you're seeing your view of the world. And the most common type that you'll probably see on Instagram, on social media, is either cookery type videos or art videos, where you're seeing maybe a camera overhead perhaps, or just coming in from the side. You see the artist's hands as they create.
Right, so it's like it's my point of view. It's as though I am doing something. I'm chopping up vegetables, and you see what I would be looking at.
Yes, exactly. I can show you. I'll show you some art ones. This is Rachel Brooks' art. Go and follow her if you haven't already. She came on a course a few years ago, and she does a lot of these kind of time-lapse videos. I know from speaking to her that these can be pretty time-consuming for her to stitch them together.
Now, how's she done that? Because she's obviously not holding her phone.
No, so you would need, if you want to do any of that kind of thing, where it's point of view and you're seeing your hands, you want a tripod at the very least. You could just have a very small desktop tripod that kind of sits beside your hands and gives you a kind of side-on view, but you're probably better with something overhead. And there's plenty of tripods that you can change to, you can have it as a standard tripod, but then you can take the center pole out and you can turn it around so that it sits horizontally, or you can have a desk clamp. We use these for in the studio here for our mounting our cameras and mounting our lights. You can use a desk clamp that then has a horizontal bar coming out the side.
That's a cracking piece
overhead.
of work she's doing. So Rachel Brooks' art, that looks terrific. And Emma, also, we know that time-lapse video tends to do very well, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's just so fast-moving, and something like that, a work of art, speeded up. Seeing someone go through that process, it creates that sense of anticipation. You want to hang around to the end of that video to see what the final outcome is.
So I can see point of view videos going down really well in hospitality and catering, obviously artists and creators, etc. And what else could we do with them?
Even just tours, behind the scenes type thing. If you don't want to be the face of the tour, showing people, come along with me, or travel style videos. You can take people behind the scenes where you just film what it is you're seeing. I mean, I guess Instagram stories is quite popular for that kind of thing, but even just plan ahead, think of what the 5 most interesting things are in your office space or your factory, the behind the scenes that you want to show, and film clips from different angles, wide angle, medium shot, and then close up of these 5 different interesting elements. You can then stitch it together and you can just add a voiceover to it. So you don't need to be in it, or even just text to tell the story. But a voiceover is nice as well. And once you've stitched those clips together, let's say into a 30-second video giving the tour of your office or your factory, you can just add the voiceover on your phone within the editing app or within Instagram Reels, whatever it is you're using to edit your video. And there you've got a video. You don't have to appear on it, but we've got lots of visually interesting things to see.
So I think if you're going to do that, I guess, I don't know if there's any other special bits of kit you need other than, I guess, a microphone. And I know in a previous show we spoke about the gimbal as well. Would that be helpful if you were going to do that kind of filming?
Yeah, well, if you're going to be moving around, I suppose the simplest form of that, if you've got something quite interesting to show people, the gimbal, just one continuous shot. moving around your behind the scenes is good. But if you don't have a gimbal, then my advice is always just, you can go handheld, hold the camera still, record for 10 seconds for each individual thing, but just hold it still and then cut it together into much shorter clips. And to be honest, in my view, that's a more engaging video in the end, rather than that kind of stream of consciousness, just seeing what I see.
Okay, and you mentioned as well adding the voiceover. So is that something that you do within, like, maybe the LumaFusion app? Is that how you would do that? How easy is it to add the voiceover?
Easy in most of these apps. If you, I can show you, maybe just show you. I can't find it. I'll show you in just a minute. In all of these apps, there's a voiceover tool. And it's just a little microphone that pops up, and you tap on the microphone. I'll show you in KineMaster if you go to the landscape.
Oh, the landscape one, right? Here we go. Yeah.
I've got no footage in this particular clip at the moment, but it's nice and easy to see. That's why I wanted to show this. This is the media wheel, and down at the bottom there's just that record button of that media wheel, and you just let the phone access your microphone. And you would want to plug in an external microphone at this point. I've spoken about that loads. The iRig Lav mic, or any of these little plug-in lavalier mics that you clip onto yourself, because you don't want to just use the phone microphone. It won't be good enough. And you simply press start. If I just click on start, it's not working on that. It should be. You press start and it gives you a little countdown.
There, it's working now. That's it going now. Yeah.
And then you start to record, and you can time it. So if you've put all your clips together, you can just look at the visuals that are popping up there and start to time what it is that
that is fantastic.
You're talking about.
That's fantastic. So that's the KineMaster app.
Yes.
Putting a voiceover in there. So once you've done your cutaways, once you've done your footage, you've got your different clips, and then you can just start recording your voice and then stitch it all together. Emma, I've seen quite a few. In fact, there's one video which we can't show today. We don't have it to hand, but we show it in some of our social media training. It's a video that I think it was Women's Aid did at the start of lockdown, and all it is, it's very powerful. It's just clips of an empty and deserted London, because it's lockdown and there's nobody around, and it's just the empty streets. And then I don't even think there's a voiceover on it. It's a caption that comes up at the end, and it says something to the effect of, everyone's at home, but home isn't safe for everyone. Making the point that, and we know from last year, so sadly, that there was a spike in instances of domestic abuse. A very powerful video with no one in it and nothing really being said. So when you think creatively and you think about that message, there's really, really a lot of powerful things that you can do with video. So that was a good one. The other one that I've seen sometimes when people are talking about tricky topics is using animated video as well. Like, you've seen the doodle videos, the kind of drawing ones. Is that something that's accessible for most businesses?
I would say that these kind of any kind of graphic animation, there are some apps that let you do that yourself, and of course you can edit it on your desktop using software like After Effects. But I would say that's something that you want to probably, if you especially if you've got a powerful message, you probably want to hire a professional to do that. And it can be quite a time-consuming job depending on how kind of complex the message you've got. So for something that's quite powerful, that's got a lot of movement in it, then I would be hiring a professional. But if you just want to do, maybe you could use using photographs or video footage you've got yourself with some text animation over the top, or you mentioned doodle videos. You can do some of these things yourself for free using some simple apps on your phone. There's one I did one for us a while back for you and Gary for Embrace the Space using Video Scribe, which is a really simple little app. I'll see if I can find the video itself. It's on our page, and it was just these ones here.
Right, okay. See, I didn't realise you did this. I thought we'd hired somebody in for that.
No, I had this app for a while, so it's Video Scribe it's called, and the free version is limited in a way, but you can create simple little adverts like this. And all I did was, it doesn't have, in the free version, I couldn't get all these logos, obviously, but I used Canva to get the logos, because Canva's got all of these graphics, downloaded them as a transparent PNG file, and then bring it into this app. And if you just stitch them together, and then the hand comes up, once you animate it, it's all automatic. The hand just comes up and just scribbles it on for you. So if you've when it's the writing within the app, you see it kind of puts in all the letters. But when it was just the logo that I had imported, it just kind of colours it in.
That's great.
So
I mean, I'm looking
it's a bit
at this.
low resolution, but it's okay.
I'm looking at this just now. I'm thinking we should be knocking stuff like this out every week.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. To be fair, that one didn't take too long. Again, that was something where I kind of said, listen, I can do this. Why don't you script something for it? And I think you did 4 different scripts for that one, Embrace the Space, just to kind of promote it.
Because this is the interesting thing, and I think there's a lot of people watching this, they get confused. There's so much misinformation, and I think sometimes when somebody says, look, I need an animated video. Now, if you go to somebody and say, I want an animated video, they're going to think you mean custom animation. They're going to think you want a character created that, unique for them, and it's going to probably start about £800 and then quickly go up. If what you mean is you want a wee hand drawing, sketching out the logo like we've just shown you just there.
Sure, if you go to the landscape
then that's that what you said. I mean, that cost us nothing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Video script. See if you go to landscape, I'll just show you inside the app, because I just quickly did that. So this is inside the app. You press plus, and you can search their image library, which for the free version is quite limited, but you'll find some stuff you need. You type in the text that you want. So I've done that for 5 ideas for video, and then that's little the little kind of thought ideas, and then I think you come up here and you just play it. You can retime it all.
Good God.
It does it all. So you can say, I want 5 ideas for video to be up just for 3 seconds, then that to be drawn on in 1 second.
Right, so you still need so you still need somebody that kind of knows what they're doing, that can at least time it and organise it. But in terms of the actual the design of it, it's kind of there. It's all built in.
It's all there for you, yeah. And you can bring in your own files as well if you can't find what you need within the app.
So there's no excuse. You know that the social media algorithms, they're crying out for video content. It doesn't have to have people in it. It doesn't have to have you speaking in it. It can be a quick doodle like that. It's certainly not going to cost you much money. A £10 a month professional Canva subscription, and having a wee look at some of these apps. And if it's something that you'd like to know more about, you can see how quickly and easily we can turn some of this stuff around. So it's not going to cost you much even hiring us. Have a look at comsteria.co.uk, and if we can't do it for you, we'll be glad to pass you on to somebody who can. The other thing, Emma, and I remember getting very excited one evening when I realised that my Android phone, because you're an Apple user, I'm an Android user, so between us we've got it covered. We just need one of the kids, maybe give them a BlackBerry or something, if they're still on the go. I realised how easy it was to record my screen.
Yeah. Well, and that was a momentary point of jealousy about your Google phone, because you said, oh, look, I can record my screen with my voice, my audio on it. I can record a voiceover. I said, oh, no, when I record the screen, it just records the video audio, which is really useful. So sometimes I'll record my screen. I'll record a clip of you previewing this show to quickly then just translate it and get it onto Instagram stories, because it records the video audio from the device. So I was like, oh, you can do a voiceover, but you can do it in that. Turns out you can do it on the iPhone as well, and I think you can do it on most Android phones. Yep. If I show you just on the main phone here, if it's on, most are the same. It's the kind of swipe down. In the iPhone, you swipe down from the top right. On Android, I don't know what you do. Do you swipe down from the top, or you swipe up?
From the top,
yeah. And so you get your kind of docking screen here, your home screen, and it's the record button. And what I'd been doing was just...
Was that the record button bottom left?
Bottom left. I'd just been pressing record, and it recorded the sound from my phone. Whereas if you touch and hold on record, then you can toggle the microphone on and off. So microphone off will record the video sound from my phone. Microphone on will record my voice as I do a voiceover. So I can, again, plug a microphone in and then come here and give someone, a walkthrough of my website or whatever it is I want to show them.
Great for training as well, isn't it? I mean, you could even use something like Google Slides and start narrating over a PowerPoint if you wanted as well.
Absolutely.
Do a bit of training.
Yep, you can do that all from your phone, Keynote or Google Slides or something, narrate it. And there's other apps that let you do specifically presentation type stuff. But yeah, you could do it just on the screen recorder.
And the beauty of this, of course, is it's so quick and easy, and then so quick and easy to share. So quite often when you make a video, you're going to be sending it to someone. It has to go somewhere else. Rather than go into email and send a huge file through your email, it's all there on the phone, so it's very easy. Just tap a couple of buttons, and now you're sharing it externally as well. So it's a really exciting space to be in. And Emma, I've also heard of tools like people talk about things like Camtasia is quite a well-known one as well. What is that? Is that something for your phone? Or?
That can be used on the desktop and the phone. But yeah, I'd mention it because if you find that your phone doesn't let you just do that screen recording, then maybe downloading a third-party app will allow you to do it. Camtasia is a good one, AX screen recorder. And Camtasia in particular is a paid-for app, but it lets you do a lot more. You know, you can set frame rates. You could put yourself in the bottom corner of the screen so that you're visual, you know, you're there as well while you're talking through the presentation. Or something like using just Loom, which wouldn't be on your phone, that would be on your desktop if you wanted to do a presentation.
Yeah, if you've never seen loom.com, that's LOOM, loom.com is worth a look. And of course there's OBS too on a desktop or laptop, which is really, I guess for a lot of people, the nuts and bolts of live streaming. And on that note, and I think maybe next week we'll do a special program all about live streaming, but you've got a live streaming training day Wednesday morning with the Chartered Institute of Public Relations. And I think normally these things sell out really quickly, but this is an extra one. So there's still a couple of spaces if anybody wants to join you. What kind of things do you cover in that?
Yeah, well, this is a new course. It's a half-day course. It will be a small group of people, so there'll be lots of time to ask questions. And we cover, I would say, I suppose it's two parts. It's the technical side of live streaming. How do you actually do it? And that covers everything from just a really simple live stream on your phone to Facebook, all the way up to a kind of full setup if you want to put together a show every week like
this,
we do.
This, multiple cameras and graphics and all that.
That kind of thing, putting graphics in and so on, and maybe streaming to multiple platforms. So we cover the whole gambit from simple smartphone up to this. But then also the other side, which is, I guess, the more creative structure engagement side of it. Like live streaming is really great for your business because it gets so much more engagement than pre-packaged video, but there's a way to do it. Like with everything, there's a way to structure your live stream so that you get people watching basically, and you get people engaging.
Yeah, and what we do with this is that you might have noticed is the live stream takes place on a Friday lunchtime. It then is available on demand, and we also can take clips out of it and use them as short form clips throughout social media the rest of the week. So that's Wednesday morning. If you visit cipr.co.uk, the Chartered Institute of Public Relations, you know it's going to be a great course because it's CPD. It's all meets their very high standards. So cipr.co.uk, and that's Wednesday morning's live streaming course with Emma Baker. Emma, we're just about out of time, so thank you very much for that today. That's fantastic, and I hope your session goes well during the week. And I think maybe next Friday we'll do a wee bit more on live streaming. Yeah,
that would be good. I'm actually doing 2 live streaming courses next week. That one that you've publicised, and then another one for a client. So by next Friday, I will be absolutely up to my eyeballs with live streaming, and I'll have lots of valuable information to share with you and feedback. The great thing about doing these courses is, I'm training people who will already have dabbled in live streaming or have done it themselves, these organisations. So I get lots from them as well, and I'll be able to share that with you next week.
I think what really interests us is it's one thing knowing the theory or even the practical skills, but what really fascinates us is how do sometimes large organisations actually organise themselves in order to do this. And so we learn a bit of that, and it's always good to pass that on to our other clients. On that note, can I just a special mention to all the team at National Grid. Congratulations, they just launched their brand new podcast. It's called The Grid Guide to Our People, and we produced it for them here at Comsteria. They're talking about inclusion and diversity. What a fantastic business. They have a huge presence in the UK, a huge presence in the United States as well, and they're doing so much around clean energy and the work they're doing to attract a diverse workforce is absolutely incredible, and you can hear all about it in the Grid Guide to Our People podcast, which you can get hold of on Apple or Spotify or TuneIn, and also on the National Grid website. So congratulations to them, doing a lot of really, really good work. Emma, that's it. What's the plan for the weekend?
We're quite a busy one because now we're allowed to do things.
Bit of
We're
socialising
seeing
while we
people,
can,
socialising people, get into people's houses while you're allowed.
Yeah.
Before, no,
Yeah.
I won't tempt fate. We're just going to have a good time.
We've got our
and enjoy
lateral,
freedoms.
flow tests. We'll be doing that as well, making sure everything's safe. So listen, wherever you're watching, thank you very much for your time today. Get in touch if there's anything we can do for you. Remember all the on-demand courses as well at comsteria.co.uk. $24.99 for Emma's smartphone video on-demand session. It's a cracking video there. comsteria.co.uk /on-demand. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you next